Hello my creative and artistic friends, Olga Soby here and welcome to a new acrylic pouring video. Today is going to be a Dutch pour with a little bit of challenge. I'm going to challenge myself to recreate something similar to this piece. So this is a tiny little Dutch pour. It was done on 8x8 wood panel, and I really like the composition here, the shape of this bloom. So I want to try to recreate it on a bigger panel. This one is 12x12, also wooden panel. And for my colors, here I have blue violet. This is primary magenta. This one is iridescent gold and iridescent blue green. Such a fabulous color. So for colors, I'm using a similar color palette, but I want to have less red and gold and more violet and this beautiful iridescent blue-green. So shifting the accents a little bit. And of course, I'm also having my titanium white. I'm going to be using it as a base. For the recipe, my color is a mix with just water, no pouring medium used today. And the consistency of all the colors is very fluid. So let me show you quickly. As you can see, super fluid. Paint runs down, runs off the stick, straight down, no mound created. And by the way, if you want to check out links to exact paint brands that I'm using, as well as these fabulous reusable mixing sticks, silicone cups, and all this good stuff, I will include all the links in the description, so please check it out. And besides the fluid acrylics, I'm also going to be using the blow dryer and little butane torch. So I get a lot of questions from acrylic pouring beginners. Why do you have to use torch? Do you even have to use it? And what does it do? So in case you're wondering, first of all, you don't have to use a torch. But what it does, first of all, it helps to stimulate the cell's appearance in your painting. It's especially relevant if you're using silicone, but even without silicone, it does help with cells. And second, it helps to pop the air bubbles that are in the paint from mixing and blowing. There is always a certain amount of air bubbles in the paint, so a torch quickly helps to pop them. But if you don't feel comfortable using torch, that's totally fine. You can use a heat gun, it's a good alternative to torch, or you can even use a straw and gently blow in those areas where there's a lot of air bubbles. Now, the straw blowing and even the heat gun are not as effective as using torch, in my opinion, but still it's always nice to have options, right? And if you do decide to use torch or heat gun or any other source of heat, I do recommend you to have a fire extinguisher sitting on the side of your working area. I have one right here. This is just a small size, and I don't mean to scare you, but I just think when you're working with heat, it's always better to be safe than sorry. So I have one in my studio, and I hope I will never ever have to use it. So with that being said, let's get started with today's pour painting. All right, so as always for the Dutch pour, I'm starting by adding the base layer. Like I said, today it's titanium white acrylic paint, and it's also mixed with water, just like the rest of the colors. As you can see, my sides are taped, so I don't need to worry about covering the sides with paint. And by the way, I find that it helps to reduce the drips, and I like that. All right, once the base is done, I'm gonna add colors for the blowout. So just creating a puddle of paint today. First one is blue violet. Next is bright magenta. Now let's add some iridescent gold. Next is iridescent green blue. And let's add a touch more of violet on top. Next, I always add more white or whatever the color of the base layer is around the puddle, just to help the colors flow when I'm gonna be blowing them out. And let's do the blowout. Ooh, some nice cells are showing up. Looking good. But now I'm gonna torch and see even more cells are showing up. So torch is really helpful for that. Ooh, nice! These details here are super pretty. I'm trying to keep the center the same because I really like how it looks, and just working on the outer edges. All right, I think it's time to stop. I got it very close to the initial shape I was looking for, so I'm happy about that. Now let me show you some details. See those iridescent colors shimmer, but they look even better when dry. So keep on watching and let's see how this beauty dries. Are you guys ready to see the power of iridescent colors? Check this out. See how they shine on the sunlight. I hope I don't blind you, but I just had to show it on the sunlight because it's so beautiful, and the way it shines, man, this is just mesmerizing. See how the color, I'm not sure if camera shows it, but the color actually changes its shade, this iridescent blue-green. So like this, it looks greenish, and in the light it totally looks blue, like turquoise blue. And the painting is covered with a layer of epoxy resin. Oh, it's really in the shadow here so you can't see, but this is the clean wood edge and the painting with the layer of epoxy on top, and of course some gold. And I really love these details in the center. Honestly, I kind of wish that I had more gold left here because it would create more contrast. Here's the focus. Yeah, it would create more contrast with violet, but even without it, it's still beautiful. It's on the softer side, and honestly, I think this is the most soft and gentle and delicate Dutch pour I have ever made. Totally loving it. Let me know what you guys think. I hope you also enjoy this video and check out these ones for more ideas and inspiration. And if you want to learn more about acrylic pouring, join the party. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching and stay creative. Bye bye!